Night settles like a soft blanket over the desert, not heavy, not dramatic, just gently placed. The sky is wide and clear, the moon hanging above the dunes like a lantern someone forgot to turn off. Sand cools as the hours drift on, and the wind moves slowly, as if it's careful not to wake anything. Far off, a cluster of dry grasses bends and unbends in the faintest breeze, making a sound like a whisper brushing over cloth. Somewhere in that calm, the world feels simpler. The stars look unhurried, scattered across the dark, the way quiet thoughts scatter when you stop trying to organize them. Even the shadows seem relaxed, stretching out comfortably across the sand. And if you listen closely, you might notice the desert has its own kind of breathing, soft, steady, and patient. A small, gentle thought floats in. Even the dunes seem to be practicing letting go. Honestly, they're better at it than most of us. And the moon is doing absolutely nothing to prove itself. A true role model. Welcome to sleepy nature sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. If this place feels peaceful, you're always welcome back, like a quiet campfire that's always warm, always waiting, with space for you to sit down and simply be. No membership card required, just your presence, and maybe a little room in your mind for soft wonder. And if you'd like to support the channel, thank you. It helps us keep the nightlights low and the nature facts cozy, like tucking a small blanket around each story so everything stays gentle and slow. Tonight, our quiet path drifts toward a creature shaped by patience and distance, the Arabian camel, a calm companion of deserts and dry horizons. We won't rush to meet it. We'll arrive the way the desert arrives at morning, gradually, tenderly, with plenty of time. As you settle in, imagine the sand under moonlight, silver at the edges, darker in the folds. Imagine the hush of open land and a camel standing with an unbothered stillness, as if it has learned a secret about conserving energy and refuses to share it with the rest of us until we relax first. So let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your breathing find an easy rhythm. And together, we'll step quietly into the sleepy facts, the gentle scenery, and the slow, steady life of the Arabian camel. The desert at night has a way of making everything feel spacious, not empty, just uncluttered. The air cools until it feels like smooth glass, and the sand holds the moonlight in soft, pale folds, like fabric laid down with care. Somewhere out there, an Arabian camel stands in the quiet, not as a statue, but as a living pause. Its outline is gentle against the horizon. Its legs look like they were designed by someone who really appreciated long walks, and then decided to make them stylish. There's a calm confidence to the camel's stillness, like it has plenty of time, and it knows you do too. And that brings us to tonight's small nature-rooted question. Nothing cosmic, nothing that demands an answer. Just something to let your mind hold lightly, the way you might hold a warm cup in both hands, here it is. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Not less in a sad way, not less as in missing, but less as in simple, less as in only what's needed, less as in the kind of quiet that doesn't feel lonely, just peaceful. Because the desert is, in many ways, a place of less water, less shade, less softness underfoot. Yet it can feel rich in its own slow language, rich in stars, rich in silence, rich in space to breathe. The dunes don't decorate themselves, they don't add extras, they simply shape themselves over time, and somehow, that seems to be enough. And the Arabian camel, patient, steady, and quietly suited to this landscape, moves through that simplicity as if it belongs there completely. Not hurried, not stressed, not checking a to-do list, just existing in a way that looks surprisingly reasonable. Almost suspiciously reasonable, honestly. Like it knows something we don't. Maybe the camel's lesson isn't about surviving anything dramatic. Maybe it's about living gently within what's available. About taking what the day offers, resting when it's time to rest, and carrying forward what matters, without turning life into a cluttered suitcase that won't zip closed. So tonight, as your breathing eases and your thoughts begin to soften at the edges, you can let that question drift beside you. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? You don't have to solve it. You don't have to chase it. You can simply let it rest in the background, like a small lantern set down on the sand, glowing quietly, while the night stays kind and calm. And as we continue, we'll let the desert answer in its own way, slowly, gently, with the steady presence of the Arabian camel under the wide, patient sky. The desert introduces itself softly at night. In daylight, it can look bright and sharp, like everything is outlined in sunlight. But under the moon, the edges blur into something kinder. The dunes become gentle shapes, like sleeping hills. The air cools and settles, and the world feels as if it has lowered its voice. There's a sound here, but it's not loud. It's the faint hush of wind moving over sand, a quiet brushing noise, like someone smoothing out a blanket. Sometimes the wind pauses entirely, and even that feels like a sound, like silence has its own texture. If you've ever heard a room go calm after everyone finally stops talking, it's a bit like that. The desert is very good at finally. The sky stretches wide, a dark dome scattered with stars. Out here, the stars don't feel far away. They feel present, like they're keeping watch in the most relaxed way possible. Not guarding, just existing. The moonlight turns sand into silvery gradients, pale ridges, soft shadows, slow curves. It's a landscape that seems to be made of patience. The science of the desert can be told gently in places like the Arabian Peninsula, where the Arabian camel is most at home. The climate leans dry. Rain visits rarely, and when it does, it doesn't always stay long. Like a guest who pops in, says hello, and slips away before anyone can offer tea. Temperatures shift between day and night, and the land responds by becoming a place of quiet adaptation. Not frantic, not dramatic. just steady adjustments over time. Plants here often grow low and sparse, saving water the way you might save your phone battery when you're at 12% and pretending you're fine. Some leaves are small or waxy. Some plants wait for the right moment, taking their time like they're aware the universe will still be here later. Even the roots seem thoughtful, stretching downward, searching slowly, as if they enjoy the journey. And the animals, many of them arrange their routines around the cooler hours when the sand is less hot and the air feels smoother. Night brings a softer rhythm. The desert doesn't rush. It's not trying to impress anyone. It simply deserts. In this calm world, the Arabian camel is not an odd visitor. It's part of the pattern. Built for long distances, built for heat, built for dryness. Yet tonight, we meet it under moonlight in the gentlest version of its home, a place where the wind drifts, the dunes rest, and the horizon holds still. So let your mind settle into this landscape. Imagine the cool sand, the wide sky, the quiet air. We're not here to hurry through facts. We're here to wander slowly, letting the desert's steady pace guide us, like a slow walk that never asks you to speed up. And somewhere ahead, in this soft, open night, the Arabian camel waits in its own calm way, already at home, already unbothered, already teaching the quiet art of being enough. The first time you notice an Arabian camel at night, it can feel like discovering a slow-moving piece of landscape that decided to become an animal. Under moonlight, its outline is gentle and simple. Long legs, a calm neck, and that single rounded rise on its back. Like a small dune that learned to travel, the desert holds it with quiet respect. The sand around its feet looks smooth, the way water looks when wind finally stops bothering it. The air is cool enough to feel pleasant on the skin, and the camel stands as if it has nowhere else to be, because truly it doesn't. It belongs to this wide, patient place. The Arabian camel is also known as the dromedary, the one-humped camel. That single hump is often the first detail people notice, as if the animal is politely introducing itself with a visual signature. Hello, it seems to say. Yes, this is the hump. No, I will not be explaining it loudly. Dromedaries are closely tied to the dry landscapes of the Middle East and North Africa, where open spaces and hot days shape a particular kind of rhythm. Over a long time, humans and camels have shared these regions, and the camel became a steady companion. Transport, comfort, and calm persistence wrapped in fur and patience. Not flashy, not hurried, just reliable. Like a friend who always shows up with a charged phone and snacks. In the moonlight, you might see the camel's coat looking slightly shaggy, its color blending with the sand. Beige, tan, honey brown, tones that feel like they were chosen to match the desert's minimalist decor. Its head tilts slightly, not sharply, just enough to suggest awareness. Camels have a quiet attentiveness, the kind that doesn't demand anything from you. It's the opposite of a pop-up notification. The camel's presence invites a slower kind of watching. You begin to notice how it holds itself, how it rests its weight, how it seems comfortable. Not because everything is abundant, but because it is well suited to what is here. And our question from earlier drifts back, soft as a breeze. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? In the desert, less isn't emptiness. It's clarity, it's space. It's an environment that asks for steadiness rather than excess. The camel seems to understand this without words. It carries its life simply. Long limbs for distance, a body built for warmth and dry air, a mind that appears pleasantly unbothered. If you let your breathing slow, you may feel your thoughts doing the same. The camel doesn't rush your attention. It doesn't perform. It stands there, calm as moonlit sand, quietly reminding you that stillness can be a kind of strength, soft, steady, and enough. In the quiet of the desert night, the camel's hump looks almost like a gentle hill that decided to come along for the walk. It's rounded, patient, and oddly comforting, like nature's way of saying, "Don't worry, there's a plan. It's just stored neatly on the back." People often assume the hump is full of water. That's one of those classic misunderstandings that has lived a long, successful life. In truth, the hump mostly stores fat, not water. Think of it as an energy reserve, an internal pantry, or a portable snack strategy designed with long-term calm in mind. And honestly, if humans had humps, we'd probably fill them with croissants and then pretend it was for efficiency. Fat is useful because it can be slowly used over time, and it can even help the camel manage resources in a dry environment. By keeping that reserve in one place, the camel's body can stay more streamlined elsewhere, helping it handle heat more comfortably. It's a quiet kind of design, practical, elegant, and not at all interested in being trendy. In the moonlight, the hump's shadow falls softly across the camel's side. You can imagine it as a gentle reminder. You don't always need everything at once. You can carry what you need in a calm, stored away way, not cluttering every corner of your mind, not spreading yourself thin, just keeping the essentials close. Camels also show us something about shape and change. When a camel has used more of its stored fat, the hump can look smaller, sometimes leaning a bit, like a pillow that's been slept on. It's not dramatic. It's simply a sign of the body doing what it was built to do, adjusting quietly over time. And isn't that soothing? The idea that change doesn't have to be a loud event. It can be a slow shift, a gentle rebalancing, a soft reshaping. The desert encourages this kind of thinking. Under the stars, nothing seems in a hurry to become perfect. Dunes shift slowly. Shadows move gradually. Even the wind feels like it takes breaks to sip imaginary tea. So when you look at the camel's hump, you're not just looking at a biological feature. You're looking at a philosophy made visible. Save energy, keep it simple, don't carry everything in your hands. Our quiet question returns again, not asking to be answered, just to be held. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe part of the answer is this. Completeness doesn't always look like having more. Sometimes it looks like having enough, stored gently, and trusting that the slow rhythm of the world will meet you where you are. If you follow the camel's shape downward, past the long legs and quiet posture, you arrive at one of its most desert-friendly details, its feet. In the soft moonlight, the camel's footprints look wide and gentle, like the sand has been pressed with a warm palm rather than a sharp edge. Camels have broad, padded feet that help them move across loose sand without sinking deeply. Instead of narrow hooves that poke into the ground, their feet spread their weight out, like wearing natural snowshoes, but for dunes. It's a design that feels considerate, as if the camel is trying not to disturb the desert too much, and the desert appreciates that. Sand holds shape for a while, then slowly relaxes again, smoothing itself back into quiet. Footprints remain for a time, like a soft record of passing moments, and then wind comes along and edits the story gently. No harsh erasing, just a slow rewrite. There's something calming about imagining that. Life leaving marks, and nature tending them softly without judgment. A kind of quiet impermanence that feels reassuring. As the camel moves, its steps can look steady and unhurried, its body swaying with a slow rhythm. It's not a hurried rhythm. It's a carrying rhythm, the kind that says, "We have time. We will arrive when we arrive." A camel doesn't seem interested in running late for anything. It feels like the camel's calendar has only 2 appointments: walk and rest. In that gentle motion, you can almost hear the sand's hush beneath each step. Soft compression, soft release. The night air rests against the camel's coat. The stars stay where they are. The dunes hold still. Everything feels measured and calm. And here, again, the question floats beside you. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? The camel's feet offer a small answer. Comfort can come from fit, from being shaped for the place you're in, rather than constantly wishing the ground were different. Not forcing, not fighting, just adjusting quietly, spreading out, settling in. Sometimes the mind is like sand, loose, shifting, hard to grip. And maybe the gentle approach is not to dig in sharply, trying to control every grain. Maybe it's to soften your stance, to widen your support, to let your thoughts spread out and settle instead of sinking into one tight worry. So as you listen, you can imagine your own feet growing warm and heavy beneath a blanket, your body supported evenly, comfortably, your breath moving slowly in and out, like the desert wind that doesn't rush and doesn't demand. The camel's footprints continue across the moonlit sand, and you don't need to follow them anywhere specific. You can simply watch them appear, one by one, like calm little reminders. Slow is allowed, soft is allowed, and steady can be enough. If you come closer, quietly, gently, with no need to hurry, you begin to notice the camel's face. It has a calm expression that feels almost amused, like it has seen many things and decided most of them were not worth getting worked up about. One of the first details people love is the camel's long eyelashes. They're thick and elegant, like nature accidentally designed a beauty trend and then pretended it was purely practical. And it is practical. Long lashes help protect the eyes from blowing sand and bright light. Built-in eye comfort, no shopping required. The camel's eyes under moonlight look dark and soft, reflecting a little shine, like quiet pools in the desert of fur. Its gaze doesn't feel intense. It feels steady. It's the kind of look that doesn't ask you to perform. It just notices you, and then continues being calm. Then there are the nostrils, another small piece of desert-friendly design. Camels can close their nostrils to help keep sand out when the air gets dusty. It's a simple idea, really, but also slightly funny if you picture humans trying to do it intentionally. Imagine a meeting where someone says, "Hold on, I'm closing my nostrils for this conversation." Very powerful, very confusing. The camel's mouth is equally fascinating, with tough lips that can handle dry, thorny plants many other animals avoid. It's not dramatic. It's simply a quiet ability, taking what's available, chewing slowly, and turning it into energy. You could call it resourcefulness. You could also call it the confidence to snack on prickly things, which is honestly a level of self-assurance most of us can only dream of. And through all of this, the camel remains gentle. It chews with a slow rhythm, jaw moving like a lullaby. The night air rests around its face. The sand holds the light. The sky stays wide and patient above. Watching the camel's features, the lashes, the nostrils, the sturdy mouth, you begin to sense a theme. The camel isn't built for excess. It's built for ease within simplicity. Little tools, quiet adaptations, small comforts that add up over time. Our question drifts in again, soft and unhurried. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means paying attention to the small things that help us rest, the quiet protections, the tiny adjustments, the gentle boundaries, like closing a nostril, metaphorically of course, when the world feels too dusty. You can borrow that idea now. Let your eyes soften, as if you have your own long lashes filtering the day away. Let your breathing become smooth, as if your body knows how to keep out what doesn't belong tonight. Let your mouth relax, jaw unclenching, face settling into its natural calm. The camel's expression remains steady, and in that steadiness, you might feel your own mind growing quieter. Not empty, just less crowded, less sharp, more complete in its softness. In the desert, comfort often comes from knowing how to be economical, how to spend energy slowly, how to keep what matters close, how to move with the day instead of against it. The Arabian camel carries this kind of wisdom in its body, quietly, without lectures. One of the gentlest marvels about camels is how their bodies handle water and heat with calm efficiency. When water is available, a camel can drink a large amount in one go, like someone finally remembering to hydrate after being dramatic about it all day. But unlike many animals, the camel's body holds onto that water carefully. It doesn't rush to waste it. It keeps things tidy. Camels also tolerate wide shifts in their body temperature. Rather than sweating constantly, their temperature can rise and fall across the day, helping them conserve water. It's as if the camel says, "We don't need to panic cool everything immediately. We can let the warmth pass through, and then settle again later. A very relaxed approach, a very wise approach. If my laptop could do that, it would live a longer, happier life. Inside, the camel's kidneys help produce very concentrated urine, and their droppings can be quite dry. Again, not glamorous, but quietly impressive. Nature doesn't always show off with sparkle. Sometimes it shows off with practicality. Under moonlight, this science feels softer. You can imagine the camel's body like a well-designed canteen and thermostat, built into one calm, steady creature. It stands in the cool night air, breathing slowly, saving what it can, spending what it needs, and looking entirely unbothered by the idea that more is not always the goal. And our question returns, like a familiar refrain. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? The camel's answer seems to be by being well adapted, not overfilled, by letting the body do what it does best, regulate, balance, conserve, without turning every moment into a frantic adjustment. You can try that now, in your own small way. Let your breathing become your camel-like economy. Slow in, slow out. Not too much, not too little, just enough. Let your body hold on to calm the way the camel holds on to water, carefully, patiently, without spilling it everywhere. Imagine the desert night cooling further. The sand feels smoother, the wind softer, the world quieter. The camel stands as a gentle presence in the landscape, like a reminder that steadiness is not boring. It's soothing, it's sustainable, it's kind. And as your thoughts loosen and your muscles soften, you may find that less can feel like relief, like space, like completeness, not because everything is present, but because nothing is demanding. In the quiet night, the camel's mouth moves with a kind of steady patience that feels almost hypnotic. There is no rush in the way it eats, no frantic nibbling, just a slow, rhythmic chew, like it's savoring the idea of food as much as the food itself. The plants of the desert are not always the soft, leafy kind that look like they belong in a salad. Many are dry, tough, or thorny. Some are small shrubs with sharp edges, the sort of greenery that seems to have developed boundaries and stuck to them. And the Arabian camel, with its sturdy lips and thick mouth lining, can browse on plants that other animals might politely avoid. It's an oddly calming thought, a creature that can sit with what's available, without drama, not because everything tastes amazing, but because eating is part of the rhythm. The camel takes what it needs, calmly, and moves on. Camels are ruminants, which means they have a complex digestive system that helps them get the most out of dry, fibrous food. Their stomach has multiple compartments, working slowly and steadily, like a quiet kitchen that never closes, always simmering something gently in the background. It's not a loud process. It's more like a long, careful conversation between the camel and the desert. Under moonlight, the act of feeding becomes less like survival and more like routine, one of many small, peaceful tasks that fill the night. The camel bends its neck, pulls at a shrub, chews slowly. A pause, another chew. The jaw moves like a pendulum, soothing in its consistency. Even the sound is quiet, soft grinding, faint rustle, a hush of sand when the camel shifts its feet. And somewhere in that slow chewing, our question drifts back. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means being willing to take your time with what you have, not racing ahead to the next thing, not insisting that every moment be exciting or perfect or overflowing. The camel doesn't seem offended by simplicity. It treats it like a normal part of life. There's a gentle humor in this too. Imagine if the camel wrote a self-help book. It would probably be called Chew Slowly and Don't Overthink the Shrubs. It would be short. It would be calm. It would sell very well to tired people. As you listen, you can let your own body copy that rhythm. Let your breathing be slow and steady, like the camel's jaw. In and out, in and out. If thoughts appear, let them pass through like dry leaves in the wind. No need to wrestle them, no need to organize them. Just let them drift by while your mind returns to the simple, steady motion of the camel feeding under the wide, patient sky. The desert changes its mood as the day turns into night. In daylight, heat spreads across the sand, bright and intense, as if the whole world has been placed beneath a lamp. But when evening arrives, the warmth begins to loosen its grip. The air cools, the dunes soften in color, shadows lengthen and settle, and the night becomes a quieter version of the same landscape. Many desert animals align their routines with these shifts. They rest during hotter hours and become more active when the air is cooler, not because of fear, not because of urgency, simply because it feels better. The desert teaches a basic lesson. Comfort matters. Timing matters. You don't have to do everything at once. Arabian camels, too, often move in ways that fit the day's rhythm. They can travel in heat, yes, but they also take advantage of cooler periods when available. And tonight, under moonlight, the camel's world feels slow and workable. The sand is cool beneath its feet. The air brushes its coat gently. The sky holds steady. The night has its own soundscape, a faint wind, a quiet rustle of dry leaves, maybe a distant insect call, soft and repetitive, like a tiny metronome in the darkness. Even the camel's breathing feels audible if you imagine standing near it. Slow inhale, soft exhale. Nothing dramatic, just the body doing what bodies do when they are allowed to relax. When the camel stands still, it's not empty stillness. It's restful stillness. It's the kind that says, there is no need to fill every moment. And that's a comforting thought, because so many minds try to fill every quiet space with noise. The camel does not. The camel is okay with silence. Our question floats beside you again. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps the desert night offers one answer. Completeness can include pauses. Completeness can include rest. The day does not stay bright forever. The body does not stay busy forever. Even the sand cools and settles. And there's a gentle humor in imagining the camel as a champion of doing less. It would probably look at your overflowing schedule with the expression of someone who has seen 1,000 dunes and decided none of them were worth stressing about. It might blink slowly, as if to say, you could reschedule that, or you could simply lie down. So you can follow the desert's lesson now. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let your breath slow a little. Feel the coolness of night in your imagination, soothing the edges of your thoughts. The camel stands beneath the stars, and the desert holds its quiet rhythm. Nothing is forcing the moment forward. Everything is allowed to settle, and you too are allowed to settle. In the stillness of the desert night, the smallest movements feel noticeable. A shift of sand, a soft breeze, the gentle turning of an animal's head. And when you watch the camel, calm, patient, unhurried, you start to notice details you might otherwise miss. Its ears are not big and dramatic like some animals. They're modest, practical, and quietly alert. They angle slightly, as if listening to the world in a low-volume setting. The camel's hearing is part of its awareness, but it doesn't look like nervousness. It looks like presence. There is a difference. Presence feels relaxed. Presence feels like being here without bracing yourself. The camel seems present. It doesn't seem tense. It seems tuned in to the desert's small signals. Wind shifts, distant sounds, the hush of night settling deeper, and the desert has plenty of subtle signals. The air changes temperature slowly, like a hand turning down a dimmer switch. The wind might shift direction, brushing sand into new lines and patterns. A far-off call might echo and then fade. Nothing insists on attention. Everything simply exists. The camel's body fits into this softness. It stands as if it belongs to the quiet, the way a rock belongs to a riverbed. Not forced, not rushed, just natural. There's a calm kind of intelligence in that. Not the intelligence of puzzles or clever tricks, but the intelligence of steady adjustment, listening, responding, doing only what needs doing. And our question returns again, softly, as if it has learned not to interrupt. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means that you don't need constant stimulation to feel whole. You can feel complete even in a quiet landscape, even in a night with few sounds. You can be present without needing the world to entertain you. The camel seems to understand this. Its ears listen, but it doesn't chase every sound. It notices and then lets it go. Imagine if we did that with every tiny worry, not chasing each one down the hallway of the mind, just noticing, oh, there's that thought, and letting it fade into the distance like a soft echo. There's also something slightly funny about how dignified the camel looks while doing very simple things. It stands there, listening, like a wise elder of the dunes. Yet, if you offered it a snack, it would probably accept without any hesitation. Very philosophical, but also very snack motivated. Honestly, that's relatable. So as you rest, you can borrow the camel's approach. Listen softly to your own breathing. Let it be the main sound in your world right now. In and out, slow and steady. Let other thoughts become background noise, distant and unimportant. The camel remains in the moonlight, ears tilted gently, perfectly content in the quiet. And you can be content there too, just listening to the calm and letting the night do what it does best. Soften everything, Under the moon, the camel's coat looks like a warm layer of desert color, tan and sandy, blending with the landscape like it was designed by someone who only owns neutral tones and feels proud of it. The fur isn't just decoration, it's comfort. It's climate-friendly clothing, grown naturally, perfectly fitted, no itchy tags. Camels grow thicker coats in cooler seasons and lighter coats in warmer ones. This seasonal change helps them manage desert temperature swings, because deserts aren't only hot. Nights can become cool, and some regions can even feel surprisingly cold. The camel's coat helps it stay comfortable across these shifts, like a living reminder that nature plans for variety. In the daytime, thick fur can also help insulate the camel from the heat, creating a barrier between the sun and the skin. It's counterintuitive in a way, wearing a coat in a hot place, yet it works the way a well-designed roof works under strong sunlight. Shade and insulation can be soft tools. Watching the camel in moonlight, you can imagine its fur catching the faint breeze, barely moving like grass. The camel stands with a quiet warmth in its outline. It looks like it belongs to the night. It looks like it has been shaped by long familiarity with this place. Our question drifts in again. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? The camel's coat suggests a small answer. Comfort isn't about avoiding every change. It's about having gentle ways to meet change when it arrives, a thicker layer when the air cools, a lighter one when warmth returns. No panic, no dramatics, just adjustment, slow and steady. You can imagine your own blanket like the camel's coat right now, your own soft insulation from the world. The room around you can fade into the background. The day can fade too. You're allowed to have a seasonal layer for your mind, a quiet, protective softness that keeps you cozy while your thoughts cool down and settle. There's also something quietly funny about how the camel seems perpetually dressed for practical elegance, like it's ready for a formal event called standing calmly in the desert. Dress code, neutral tones, steady posture, minimal complaining. And maybe that's part of the charm. The camel doesn't look like it's trying to be impressive. It just is what it is. Well-suited, well-layered, quietly complete. So let the image hold you. Camel under moonlight, fur softly textured, air cool and gentle. Let your breathing match the scene. Slow, warm, easy. The desert night continues, and the camel remains steady within it. Proof that comfort can be built from simple things. A coat, a calm rhythm, a quiet place to stand. If you imagine the camel moving now, it isn't sudden. It begins like a thought you don't have to chase, just a gentle shift from stillness into motion. One foot lifts, settles, then another. The camel's body sways softly as it walks, a slow rocking rhythm that feels almost like a cradle. Camels are built for long distances. Their long legs carry them efficiently across open landscapes, and their steady gait conserves energy. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is rushed. The camel walks as if it has all the time in the world, because in the desert, time is not measured by clocks so much as by light, temperature, and the steady movement of living things. Under the stars, that walk feels soothing to watch. The camel's silhouette glides across the sand, leaving wide footprints behind. The wind edits them slowly, smoothing the edges, turning the path into a soft suggestion rather than a permanent mark. There's a quiet beauty in that, a reminder that you can move through life without carving deep grooves into everything. You can pass through gently. And again, our question drifts beside you. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means trusting the slow pace, trusting that steady movement is enough. The camel doesn't sprint into the night. It doesn't demand instant arrival. It simply continues, one calm step after another. If your thoughts have been running lately, looping, racing, spinning in circles, you can borrow the camel's gait. Let your mind slow to a walk. Let it sway gently instead of jolting. Let it move forward with no urgency. Even if you don't know where forward is tonight, you can still move toward rest. There is also something a little funny about how camels walk with such dignity while looking like they're gently rocking on a boat. It's as if they are both formal and slightly wobbly at the same time, like a respected professor who also enjoys taking naps. A perfect balance of serious and cozy. And maybe that balance is what makes them feel so calming. They are capable animals, adapted and steady, yet they also seem deeply committed to conserving energy. They are the embodiment of "I could, but I'd rather not." A truly inspirational motto for bedtime. So as the camel continues its slow walk across the moonlit desert, you can let your breathing follow along, in and out, steady and smooth. Imagine each breath as a step, each exhale as a soft footprint in sand. The camel's path continues into the quiet distance, and you don't need to follow it anywhere. You can simply rest beside it in imagination, held by the rhythm, soothed by the slowness, and reminded that moving gently through the night is sometimes the most complete thing you can do. In the desert, thirst is not a loud emergency. It's a quiet condition the landscape expects, the way a winter expects cold. And the Arabian camel meets this dryness with a kind of calm patience, as if it has already accepted the rules of this world and decided to live gently within them. If you imagine a camel moving across the dunes at night, you can almost feel the cool air around its nostrils. The camel breathes slowly, conserving moisture the way a careful person conserves candles during a power outage, using only what's needed and not panicking about the rest. Camels are famous for their ability to go without water for long periods, and they do it through a collection of small, practical adaptations. Their bodies manage water carefully. They minimize loss. They hold on to what they have like a quiet promise kept inside. And when water does appear, perhaps at an oasis, perhaps brought by humans, perhaps found in a place where the desert briefly softens, camels can drink a remarkable amount in one sitting. It's not frantic, it's efficient. A long, steady drink, like the desert itself finally exhaling. There is something soothing about imagining that steady drinking. The surface of water barely ripples in moonlight. The camel lowers its head and drinks with quiet focus. It doesn't look like it's catching up. It looks like it's simply doing what it was built to do. Our question returns again, soft as the wind. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? The camel's relationship with water offers a small answer. Comfort can come from trusting your reserves, from knowing you can wait, and when the right moment arrives, you can receive it fully. Sometimes our minds thirst too, not for water, but for reassurance, for rest, for a sense that everything is okay. And the mind often tries to drink too fast, gulping at distractions, scrolling, filling itself with noise. The camel doesn't do that. The camel waits, then drinks slowly and deeply when it can. You can try the camel's method now. Let your breathing be your steady drink. Each inhale, a small sip of calm. Each exhale, a gentle release of tension. No need to swallow the whole ocean tonight, just enough to soften. There's also a small humor in how humans talk about camels like they're mythical water wizards, when really the camel is just extremely organized. Imagine a camel looking at a person carrying 5 different drinks: coffee, tea, water, soda, and a smoothie, and blinking slowly like, you could simplify this. The desert night continues, cool and quiet. In your imagination, the camel lifts its head from water, lips damp, eyes calm. It stands again beneath the stars, complete in its steadiness, reminding you that waiting can be gentle and receiving can be slow, and comfort can arrive without rushing. Salt, sweat, and the art of staying cool. 400-500 words. The desert has a way of teaching the body what matters. Heat comes and goes with the sun. Coolness returns with night. And through these cycles, the Arabian camel carries itself with an almost soothing competence, like it has read the manual for desert living and then decided not to brag about it. One quiet marvel is how camels manage sweating. Many animals sweat to cool down, but sweating uses water, and in the desert, water is precious. Camels don't sweat as readily at lower temperatures compared to many other mammals. They allow their body temperature to rise during the day and drop at night, reducing the need for constant cooling. It's a slow, balanced strategy, like letting the warmth pass through rather than fighting it all at once. Under moonlight, you can imagine the camel releasing the day's stored heat into the cooler air, like a stone that has been warmed by sunlight and then slowly cools after dusk. The desert itself does this too. Sand, rocks, air, all of it holds warmth and then lets it go. This is not a dramatic battle. It's a quiet exchange. The desert and the camel share a rhythm. Take in warmth, release it gently, repeat. Our question drifts back. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means learning that not every discomfort needs instant fixing. Sometimes you can let the day's heat sit for a while, knowing the night will cool it. Sometimes you can allow feelings to pass through slowly, trusting that the temperature of the mind changes too. You can try that now. If you've been holding tension in your shoulders, let it warm for a moment. Notice it without judging it, and then let it cool as you exhale. Like the camel's body, you can move through your own cycles gently. There's also something quietly funny about how the camel looks while doing all this internal work. It stands there with a face that says, "Yes, I am managing complex thermoregulation and hydration strategies." But the expression also says, "And I'm not going to make a big deal about it." A true professional. Even the camel's fur helps with temperature management, insulating, shading, buffering extremes. And the desert night, with its cooler air, becomes the camel's natural reset. So imagine the night wrapping around you now. Imagine the warmth of the day loosening. Imagine your thoughts cooling like sand after sunset. There's no urgency in the way the desert returns to quiet. It simply does. The camel stands beneath the stars, and the air grows smoother, softer. Your breathing becomes the same, slow, even, calm. And in that calm, completeness doesn't require constant effort. It can be something you settle into, like cool air settling into the low places between dunes. The desert air is often dry, thin with moisture, and even at night it can feel like it has been filtered through warm sand. For many animals, breathing in such an environment is a quiet challenge. For the Arabian camel, breathing feels like another calm specialty. One more way it fits into the landscape like a natural piece of the scene. If you look at a camel's nose, it isn't flashy, it's practical, shaped for a world where dust sometimes drifts and the air can be harsh. Camels have nasal structures that help conserve moisture when they exhale. The details are internal and subtle, like hidden plumbing designed by an engineer who truly appreciates efficiency. Under moonlight, you can imagine the camel's breath warming the air close to its nostrils, then fading quickly into the cool night. Inhale, exhale, slow and steady. The camel does not huff. It does not pant dramatically. It breathes like someone who has nowhere urgent to be. And that's soothing, because breathing is one of the easiest rhythms for the mind to follow. When you listen to someone breathing calmly, your own body often begins to copy it. It's like a quiet invitation. Come on, you can slow down too. Our question returns again. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means trusting your simplest functions. Breathing, resting, being. The camel doesn't need constant stimulation to feel complete. It breathes, it stands, it exists within the desert's slow tempo. You can borrow this now. Feel your own breath moving in and out. Let it be unforced. Let it be plain. If your mind tries to complicate things, you can gently refuse, like closing a nostril to keep out dust, but for thoughts. There is also a small humor in imagining the camel as the ultimate calm breathing coach. It would likely watch humans hyperventilating over small problems and respond with one slow blink, then continue breathing like a yogi who never booked a class because it already is the class. In the desert night, the camel's breath becomes part of the soundscape, along with wind, distant insects, and the hush of sand shifting lightly. Everything is quiet enough that your attention naturally narrows to the simplest things. So let the camel's calm breathing guide you, in and out, smooth, steady. Let each exhale loosen you a little more. Let each inhale feel like cool night air drifting into the body. And as you settle deeper, you may find that comfort isn't always found in doing more. Sometimes it is found in doing less, breathing slowly, and letting the desert's steady rhythm become your own. Camels rest in a way that looks honest. They don't pretend they're just taking a quick break, while secretly thinking about 10 other things. When a camel rests, it rests. It folds its long legs beneath its body and settles down into the sand with an ease that suggests this is not a rare luxury. It's part of the plan. In the cool desert night, the sand becomes a gentle bed, not plush, not soft like a pillow, but supportive in its own quiet way. The camel lowers itself slowly, carefully, like a slow-moving cloud settling onto a hill. Once it is down, it looks comfortable, still alert in its own calm way, but clearly not interested in unnecessary movement. There's a simple lesson here. Rest doesn't have to be earned by exhaustion. It can be part of a natural rhythm, like night following day. Our question drifts back again. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means being able to stop without feeling like stopping is failure. The camel doesn't look guilty for resting. It doesn't look like it's thinking, I should be more productive. The camel is not trying to optimize. The camel is simply being a camel in a desert, and that is enough. There's something quietly funny about how much humans would benefit from camel logic. Imagine a camel attending a productivity seminar. It would sit down immediately. It would blink slowly. And it would leave early for a nap, fully convinced it had understood the main point. As you listen, you can give yourself permission to rest in that same way. Let your muscles soften without apology. Let your mind ease without needing a reason. You don't have to justify being tired. You don't have to prove you deserve sleep. Sleep is part of the rhythm, not a reward at the end of a struggle. Picture the camel lying beneath the stars. The sky above is wide and quiet. The wind has slowed. The dunes look like gentle waves frozen mid-motion. The camel's sides rise and fall with slow breathing. It is safe. It is still. It is complete. You can mirror that now. Let your breath slow. Let your body feel heavy and supported. If thoughts come, let them drift past like a distant breeze that doesn't need your attention. Rest is not a problem to solve. It is a place to arrive. And tonight, you are allowed to arrive gently, like a camel settling into sand, like the desert settling into night, like the world lowering its voice until only calm remains. It's easy to imagine the desert is lonely, but loneliness isn't always the same as solitude. Sometimes the desert is simply spacious, wide enough for quiet companionship, where togetherness doesn't need constant conversation. Arabian camels often live in groups, especially in human-managed herds, and they can form social bonds. You might see them standing near one another, not pressed together tightly, but close enough to feel connected. There's a calm comfort in this, being near others without needing to perform. Under moonlight, you can picture a small group of camels resting on the sand, A few are standing, a few lying down. Their shapes are soft in the darkness like rounded hills. The air is cool, the night is wide, and the group feels steady, quiet, safe. Camels communicate with body language and sounds, grunts, moans, low calls, often in ways that can sound surprisingly dramatic if you don't expect it. It's a little funny, honestly. A camel can look calm and dignified, then produce a sound that feels like it should come from someone trying to lift a sofa alone. Yet even that has its place. Nature doesn't always aim for elegance. Sometimes it aims for effectiveness. And even with those sounds, camel's social life can feel unhurried. A camel might nuzzle another gently, or simply stand nearby sharing warmth and presence. No speeches, no long explanations, just closeness. Our question returns once more. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means being able to share space without needing noise, being part of a group without needing constant attention. The camels seem content with simple companionship. They don't demand entertainment. They don't fill the silence out of fear. They allow quiet to exist between them. You can borrow that feeling now, even if you're alone. Imagine a quiet campfire circle in the desert night, soft, warm, safe. Imagine the calm presence of others, even if they're only in your memory or imagination, not demanding anything from you, just near. Let your breathing slow, as if you're resting in a herd of calm companions. Let your mind feel held by quiet belonging. You don't have to do anything to earn this peace. You can simply be here, in the gentle night, under a wide sky. And if your thoughts make a strange little noise, some inner complaint, some odd worry, let it be like the camel's funny groan. It can exist and then fade, no drama required. In the desert night, a camel's neck looks especially graceful. Not in a flashy ballet way, more in the way a slow river looks graceful. Long, steady, unhurried, shaped by time and purpose. Under the moon, that neck becomes a gentle curve against the sky, moving with small, thoughtful motions as the camel turns its head to browse, to listen, to simply look. Camels use that long neck for reach, of course, stretching toward shrubs, scanning the landscape, moving their attention without moving their whole body. It's an economical way of being aware. The camel doesn't constantly shift its feet. It simply extends itself calmly. If humans could do that with our responsibilities, we'd probably be much happier. Just sit still and extend your neck to reach your to-do list. Very efficient. Slightly alarming in an office setting. In the moonlight, the camel's head tilts down toward a plant. Its lips gather leaves slowly. It chews, pauses, chews again. The motion is small and steady, like a lullaby you can watch instead of hear. The desert itself feels like a stage built for slow movements. Sand reflects light softly. Shadows do not cut sharply. They melt into each other. Even the horizon seems to breathe, rising and falling in the distance with the dunes. As you watch the camel's neck and head move, you may notice something else. The animal's attention seems gentle. It doesn't look frantic, scanning for problems. It looks present, taking in the night as it is. And our question returns, drifting like wind over sand. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means letting your attention be gentle too, not grabbing at every thought, not snapping toward every worry. Just allowing your mind to turn slowly, like a camel's head in moonlight, aware but not tense. You can try that now. Let your eyes relax. Even if they're closed, let the muscles around them soften. Let your inner gaze move slowly, not scanning, not searching, just resting, like moonlight resting on sand. The camel's neck lowers again, and you can almost hear the quiet of the moment, a faint rustle of leaves, a soft exhale, a tiny shift of sand. The night continues without needing you to manage it. And perhaps that is part of completeness, letting the world keep turning without gripping it, letting your mind be long and spacious like the desert horizon, letting your breath drift naturally, slow and steady, while the camel's silhouette moves in small, soothing arcs beneath the stars. The desert wind is not always loud. Sometimes it is barely there, just a thin movement of air that touches your skin and then slips away, like a quiet thought you almost forget to notice. At night, that wind feels cooler, softer, more forgiving. It carries faint scents, dry earth, warm stone, a hint of plant sap, the subtle mineral smell of sand. For animals, smell can be a whole world, and the Arabian camel lives in a landscape where smell is both delicate and meaningful. Food is scattered, sparse, sometimes hidden among thorny shrubs. Water is rare. The wind becomes a messenger, drifting across dunes and delivering information in a quiet way. Imagine the camel lifting its head slightly, nostrils opening gently as it breathes in the night air. It doesn't look like it's searching in a sharp way. It looks like it's simply receiving what the wind offers. A slow inhale, a calm pause, then another. There's something soothing in that idea. Receiving, not chasing. Letting the world come to you in its own time. The wind moves over the camel's coat, flattening a few hairs, then letting them rise again. The camel stands in it without complaint. If the wind carries a bit of sand, the camel's long lashes and closable nostrils help it stay comfortable. Nature's built-in do not disturb settings. And our question drifts back. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means letting yourself be satisfied with small sensory moments. The taste of cool air, the feeling of a blanket, the sound of quiet. It's easy to believe we need constant excitement to feel full. Yet the desert shows another kind of fullness. A fullness made of space and subtlety. The camel seems to agree. It doesn't demand a buffet. It doesn't demand entertainment. It stands and lets the wind touch its face, as if that alone is enough to be part of the night. There's also a gentle humor in imagining the camel as a connoisseur of wind, like a sommelier. Ah yes, it might say, if camels gave reviews. Notes of dry shrub, a hint of distant dune, and an aftertaste of sand. Classic. So as you rest, you can let your own senses soften into this scene. Imagine the cool air touching your forehead, your cheeks, your hands, Imagine it moving slowly, like a calming brush. Let your breathing become a way of tasting the night. Inhale calm, exhale tension. The desert wind continues, quiet and steady, and the camel remains at ease within it. Nothing needs to happen quickly. Nothing needs to be solved. The wind moves, the camel breathes, and you are allowed to simply receive the calm that drifts gently toward you. Above the desert, the sky is wide enough to feel like another landscape, an ocean turned upside down, dark and deep, sprinkled with quiet lights. In places far from city glow, stars look brighter, clearer, more numerous, as if the night is generously sharing its details. For humans crossing deserts long ago, stars became guides. They offered direction when the ground looked the same in every direction, and the camel, as a companion of desert travel, often moved beneath that same starry dome, carrying people and supplies across long distances. But tonight, we don't need the stars to guide us anywhere. We can let them be what they are, calm points of light, steady and indifferent in the nicest possible way. Imagine the camel standing under the stars, head tilted slightly upward. It doesn't look like it's reading constellations or planning a route. It looks like it's simply existing beneath the sky, the way a tree exists beneath the sky, the way a rock does, present and unbothered. There's a quiet comfort in that. The sky is something to admire, not something that demands achievement. The stars are not deadlines. They are not tasks. They're just lights. And our question returns, soft as starlight. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means allowing beauty to be enough. You don't have to do anything with the stars. You don't have to turn them into a productivity metaphor. You can simply let them glow. You can let them be part of your night, the way calm can be part of your mind without needing to be used. The camel seems like a natural expert in this. It stands beneath the sky without trying to conquer it. If the camel had a slogan, it might be, "Look up gently, then go back to chewing." A very balanced philosophy. You can follow that balance now. Let your mind look up gently. Imagine the stars, the wide dark, the slow drift of time. Then let your mind come back down, back to your breath, your blanket, your quiet. Inhale, exhale, like a slow tide. If thoughts appear, you can imagine them as small clouds passing in front of the stars. They don't need to be chased. They don't need to be fixed. They pass, and the stars remain. The camel's silhouette is still. The dunes are still. The night is still. The stars hold their calm brightness, and you are allowed to borrow that steadiness, not to become perfect, just to become quieter. Tonight, the stars don't ask you to navigate your whole life. They only offer a soft reminder. There is space, there is time, there is calm. The desert keeps records in an unusual way, not in books, not in folders, not in neat little digital files. It keeps records in tracks, soft impressions pressed into sand, written briefly, then slowly edited by wind. A camel's tracks are wide and rounded, matching the soft pads of its feet. In moonlight, those tracks can look almost silver at the edges, shadows pooled inside them like tiny bowls of night. If you follow them, you don't just follow a path. You follow a story where the camel walked, where it paused, where it stood and listened. And then, over time, the wind arrives like a gentle librarian, smoothing pages, tidying the evidence, returning the desert to its clean, open look. Not harsh, just gradual. There's something calming about a world where records don't cling forever, a world where marks are allowed to fade. Sometimes our minds hold on to tracks too tightly. Old worries, old conversations, old mistakes, like we're trying to preserve them in stone. The desert doesn't do that. The desert writes in sand. And our question returns again. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means letting some tracks fade, not because they didn't matter, but because you don't need to keep every impression sharp. You can let the wind of time soften edges. You can let memory become gentle rather than heavy. Imagine the camel walking earlier in the night. It moves slowly, leaving tracks that say, "I was here." Then it stops, rests, stands again. The tracks remain for a while, then begin to blur. The story is not lost. It simply becomes lighter. There's a small humor in thinking of the desert as a minimalist who refuses clutter. No, the desert says, we do not keep unnecessary files. And the camel, too, seems aligned with that. It doesn't look back constantly. It doesn't seem to worry about whether its footprints look good. It walks, and that is enough. You can borrow that now. If your mind has been replaying something, an awkward moment, a worry, a list, imagine it as a track in sand. Notice it, then imagine a soft wind arriving, smoothing it gently. Not erasing your life, just easing the sharpness. Inhale, exhale, and let the wind do its quiet work. The camel's tracks continue across the dunes, and you don't need to follow them anywhere. You can simply watch them soften in the moonlight and let your own thoughts soften too. The night is kind, and the desert is spacious, and completeness can include the gentle fading of things you no longer need to hold so tightly. There is a particular movement camels do that looks almost ceremonial. They kneel. It isn't a fast movement. It's slow and careful, like a heavy piece of furniture being placed gently onto the floor. The camel bends its front legs first, lowering its chest, then folds the rest of its body down in a steady sequence. It's a movement full of quiet control, as if the camel is demonstrating that even large creatures can settle softly. In many desert cultures, this kneeling became part of working with camels, loading, resting, traveling. The camel's willingness to kneel makes it not only strong, but cooperative in a calm way. Not dramatic teamwork, just steady partnership. Under moonlight, you can imagine a camel kneeling in the sand, settling into a comfortable rest. The sand shifts slightly beneath it, then holds. The camel's body relaxes into the shape of stillness. Its breathing slows. The night wraps around it. And our question returns, as it always does, gentle and quiet. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means knowing how to lower yourself into rest without resistance. Camel doesn't fight the ground. It doesn't hover anxiously. It kneels. It settles. It lets the sand support it. We often do the opposite. We hover mentally, half resting, half planning, half asleep, half thinking about tomorrow. The camel shows a different way. Commit to rest. Lower gently. Let the ground hold you. There's also a soft humor in the camel's kneeling, because it can look like the camel is saying, "All right, fine, I'll sit." The posture feels like a large animal choosing comfort over performance, a very bedtime-friendly attitude. You can take that lesson now. Imagine your body kneeling into the mattress. Not literally, of course, just the feeling of settling. Let your shoulders drop. Let your back soften. Let your legs feel heavy. Let gravity be kind. Inhale, exhale, and lower into stillness. The camel stays in its resting posture beneath the stars, looking unbothered, peaceful, complete. The desert wind moves lightly over dunes. The sky remains wide and calm. Nothing demands a decision. Nothing insists on action. And as this section ends, you may notice your mind feeling a little quieter, like sand after wind. A little softer, like a dune under moonlight. A little more ready to drift. The desert holds memory in a quiet way. Not like a diary with pages you can flip through, but like a surface that remembers touch, briefly, softly, and without clinging. Sand records the passing of feet, the drag of a tail, the brief press of wind, then slowly lets it all fade, as if it knows that remembering doesn't have to mean holding on tightly. A camel's tracks appear in the moonlight like a gentle handwriting, wide, rounded impressions, a steady spacing, a rhythm you can almost feel in your own body. And for a while, the tracks remain, telling a story without words. Here is where the camel walked. Here is where it paused. Here is where it turned its head toward a shrub and chewed slowly, like the world wasn't in a hurry. Then the wind arrives, never rude, just persistent in a calm way. It lifts a thin veil of sand and lays it down again. It softens edges. It smooths corners. It edits the story until it becomes less about exact detail and more about the feeling of having been there. And in that, there's a kind of comfort. Some memories in our minds feel like they have sharp edges. They press in. They stay too vivid. The desert teaches a different style of remembering, gentle, fading, still true even when it becomes softer. Our question returns again, like a familiar scent carried on air. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means being okay with memories becoming simpler, not because they mattered less, but because you don't need to replay every moment in high definition. Some things can become like tracks in sand, still part of your story, but no longer heavy. There's also something quietly funny about how the desert behaves like an extreme minimalist. No clutter, it seems to say. We do not keep unnecessary files, and the camel, in its calm way, seems to respect that. It leaves a mark, then keeps moving, trusting the landscape to take care of the rest. You can borrow that trust now. If your mind is looping through something, an old worry, a conversation, a regret, Picture it as a track in sand. See it clearly for a moment. Then imagine a soft wind drifting through, smoothing it gently, not erasing you, just easing the sharpness. Inhale, exhale, and let the wind do what it does best. Soften. The camel stands somewhere nearby in your imagination, steady and complete beneath the moon. The sand holds its calm memory of movement and then lets it go. The night stays wide, the air stays cool, and your mind, too, can become a place where memories exist without gripping, where the past can be present in a softer way, and where completeness can include gentle fading. Adaptation sounds like a serious word, like it belongs in textbooks and diagrams. But in the desert, adaptation often looks like something quieter, a body shaped for long days, a mind shaped for patience, a routine shaped for the rhythm of heat and coolness. The Arabian camel is full of these quiet adjustments, long eyelashes like soft curtains for the eyes, nostrils that can close when the air carries dust, broad feet that spread weight gently across sand, a coat that insulates through extremes, a hump that stores energy like a calm savings account. None of it is flashy. All of it is poetry written in biology, and the desert itself is also adapted. Plants grow with small leaves or waxy surfaces, holding moisture carefully. Some wait for rare rain the way a person waits for a good day, patient, hopeful, not forcing it. Even the dunes adapt, shifting shape with the wind, never insisting on staying the same. When you see adaptation this way, it feels less like overcoming and more like belonging. It's not about fighting the world into comfort. It's about becoming comfortable within the world as it is. Our question returns again, steady and soft. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means learning to adjust gently rather than constantly demanding more. Not more resources, not more noise, not more proof that you're doing enough. Just small changes that help you fit your own life a little better. There's a tender humor in imagining the camel as a life coach. It wouldn't shout advice. It would simply stand beside you, blink slowly, and demonstrate adaptation by doing absolutely nothing unnecessary. Its message would be, adjust quietly, save energy, chew thoughtfully. And maybe that's the most soothing kind of wisdom that isn't loud. As you listen, you can let your own body practice adaptation. If your neck is tense, let it soften. If your hands are tight, let them loosen. If your mind keeps reaching for stimulation, let it settle into simpler sensations. The feeling of breath, the weight of your blanket, the quiet of the room. You don't have to transform yourself tonight. You don't have to become a new person before morning. You can simply adapt in the smallest ways. One slow breath, one softened shoulder, one thought allowed to drift away. The camel in its desert home continues to embody that gentle art. It doesn't do extra, it does enough. And in that enough, there is a kind of completeness that feels calming to witness. Adaptation then becomes not a struggle, but a lullaby. Adjust, rest, continue. Adjust, rest, continue. When people talk about intelligence, they often picture problem solving, speed, cleverness, something sharp and bright. But the desert offers another kind of intelligence. Balance. Balance is quiet. Balance doesn't show off. Balance simply works. In a dry landscape, balance can mean using water carefully. It can mean resting during the hottest hours and moving when the air is cooler. It can mean knowing when to browse and when to pause. The Arabian camel seems shaped around this kind of wisdom. Not dramatic decisions, just steady, measured living. And the desert itself is full of balancing acts. Plants balance growth with conservation. Animals balance movement with rest. Even the sand balances between holding shape and yielding to wind. Nothing insists on being constant. Everything is part of a slow, ongoing adjustment. This isn't chaos, it's rhythm. Our question returns again, drifting like a soft echo. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means trusting that you don't need to push all the time. You don't need to squeeze every moment for maximum output. You can live in balance, doing a little, resting a little, receiving a little, releasing a little. There's also something gently funny about how the camel makes balance look like a lifestyle choice. It stands there, calm and steady, as if it has perfected energy budgeting. Meanwhile, humans often spend our energy like we're trying to win an invisible contest. The camel does not participate in that contest. The camel has opted out. The camel has chosen peace. You can opt out too, at least for tonight. Let your breath be your balance point. Inhale, receive. Exhale, release. Slow, steady. If your thoughts tip toward worry, return to the breath. If your thoughts tip toward planning, return to the breath. Not forcefully, just gently, like balancing a cup of water in your hands. The camel's body offers a quiet metaphor, reserves stored calmly, heat handled patiently, movement chosen wisely. It's not about avoiding difficulty. It's about meeting reality with steadiness. And as you imagine the camel beneath the moon, you may feel your own mind begin to balance itself. Not perfectly, not forever, just enough to soften into rest. Balance can be simple: a slow breath, a relaxed jaw, a quiet room. The desert doesn't demand perfection. The camel doesn't demand perfection. They offer something kinder, a steady rhythm that works night after night without drama. And that rhythm is here for you too. Gentle, quiet, and complete. Not all connection in nature is loud. Some cooperation happens without announcements, without applause, without anyone standing up to give a speech. It happens quietly, woven into routine. In the desert, cooperation can look like animals sharing space without constant conflict. It can look like a herd moving together, not tightly packed, but close enough for safety and companionship. It can look like humans and camels traveling together over long distances, an ancient partnership shaped by patience. The Arabian camel is a creature that has lived alongside people for thousands of years, and that long relationship is itself a kind of cooperation. People learned to care for camels, and camels became steady companions in return, not in a sentimental storybook way, but in a practical, calm way. like two beings agreeing on a rhythm that works. Even among camels, you can imagine small gestures of connection, standing near one another, resting together, nuzzling lightly, sharing the calm. It's not constant affection, it's simply presence, and presence is a kind of support. Our question returns again, soft and steady. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means knowing that you don't need constant excitement in your relationships. Sometimes completeness comes from quiet companionship. Someone sitting nearby, not demanding anything, just existing with you. There's a gentle humor in how camels can look so dignified and calm, and then make a strange grumbling sound that feels like a dramatic complaint about absolutely nothing. It's like they're saying, "I am serene," and then immediately adding, "But also, I have opinions." That's cooperation too, in a way, allowing space for each other to be exactly what they are. You can apply that softness to yourself tonight. Even if you're alone, you can imagine the quiet campfire circle again, the returning listeners, the gentle community, the sense that you are not doing this night alone. You are one resting creature among many resting creatures. Let your body receive that idea. Let your shoulders soften as if someone trustworthy is nearby. Let your breathing slow as if you are part of a steady herd under the stars. Cooperation doesn't have to be loud to be real. It can be as simple as the desert wind cooling the sand, the sky offering light, the camel offering its calm presence, and you offering yourself permission to rest. Slowness in the desert is not laziness, it is wisdom. It is how the land moves, how the air moves, how life arranges itself when resources are precious and heat asks for patience. The dunes shift slowly, almost imperceptibly, changing shape over days, months, years. The wind doesn't carve in one dramatic sweep. It brushes again and again, smoothing and reshaping with quiet persistence. Plants grow slowly, conserving. Animals move with careful timing. The whole ecosystem seems built around the idea that speed is optional, and the Arabian camel is one of the clearest symbols of this serenity. Its walk is steady and rocking. Its chewing is rhythmic. Its resting is unapologetic. Its presence is like a slow song you can't rush through, because rushing would miss the point. Our question returns again, calm and familiar. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means letting slowness be enough, letting a single breath be enough, letting one small moment of calm be enough. Not insisting on constant progress. Humans often treat slowness like a problem to fix. The camel treats slowness like a lifestyle. If camels had a social media caption, it might be, "Unbothered, hydrated when possible, taking my time." And honestly, that would be a very soothing feed to scroll before bed. You can practice desert slowness now, not by doing anything complicated, but by giving your body permission to follow the simplest rhythm. Inhale, exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. Let your thoughts match that pace. If a thought appears, let it drift across your mind like a slow shadow over sand. Don't chase it. Don't fight it. Just watch it pass. Slowness creates space. Space creates quiet. Quiet creates rest. Imagine the camel in the distance, moving slowly under the moon. Imagine the dunes stretching wide, holding that slow movement without judgment. The desert does not shout for speed. The night does not demand urgency. The stars do not blink faster because you're stressed. Everything is allowed to be slow, and in that slowness, you might feel a small, deep relief, like your whole system sighing and saying, "Finally." Time in the desert doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't always arrive with loud changes or sudden scenes. Often, time shows up as a slow reshaping, dunes shifting their shoulders, wind drawing new lines across sand, the sky repeating its steady cycle of light and dark. If you look closely at a dune in moonlight, you might notice delicate ripples, small ridges made by wind, like fingerprints left on a soft surface. Each ripple is a quiet record of movement, not the movement of feet, but the movement of air. And air in the desert is a patient sculptor. It doesn't rush. It returns again and again, brushing, smoothing, drawing patterns that are both temporary and somehow timeless. The camel moves through this slow artwork like a calm visitor. It leaves tracks that last for a while. The wind edits them. Then the camel moves again, leaving new ones. A gentle conversation between creature and landscape. Step, soften, step, soften. Our question returns, drifting like a familiar lullaby. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means trusting that time will do some of the work for you. You don't have to fix every thought tonight. You don't have to carve permanent answers. The wind of time can smooth some things naturally. The mind, like sand, can settle when you stop stirring it. There's something quietly funny about how humans try to manage time, as if time is a toddler with scissors. The desert doesn't manage time. The camel doesn't manage time. They simply move within it, calmly, as if they know that minutes and hours are not enemies, just weather in another form. So let yourself feel time as gentle instead of sharp. Imagine the night's hours as slow ripples passing under you like waves. Nothing you need to chase, nothing you need to pin down. Inhale, exhale. Let your breath be the clock. Steady, simple, kind. In the distance, the camel stands under the stars, and the dunes hold their wind-drawn patterns. By morning, those patterns may look different, and that is okay. Change doesn't have to be a crisis. It can be a quiet rearrangement, and as you listen, you can allow your own inner landscape to be reshaped softly. Let the edges of worries blur. Let the sharp lines soften. Let the night do what nights do best. Turn everything down to a gentler setting. An ecosystem is like a quiet conversation happening all the time. Not a loud argument, not a dramatic speech, just constant small responses. One change meets another change, and everything adjusts in tiny ways. In the desert, these feedback loops are especially delicate. When rain comes, rare and precious, plants respond quickly, sometimes blooming in bursts that feel almost magical. When the air dries again, The plants slow down, conserve, wait. Animals align their movement with temperature, shade, and water availability. The desert doesn't demand constant output. It asks for timing. The camel is part of this gentle feedback system. It moves through the landscape using what's available: shrubs, scattered plants, occasional water, without needing the desert to become something else. It fits its needs to the world, and the world fits back in quiet ways, offering cool night air, offering sparse food, offering open space. Our question returns again. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps it means learning the art of responding instead of forcing. The camel doesn't demand that the desert provide a lush meadow. It responds to what is here, and in that response, it seems complete, steady, capable, calm. Humans often try to force our internal ecosystems too. We try to force energy when we're tired, focus when we're overloaded, joy when we're drained. The desert offers another approach. Listen for feedback. If the mind feels hot, cool it with rest. If the thoughts feel dry, soften them with kindness. If the body feels heavy, let it be heavy. There's a gentle humor in imagining your mind as a desert ecosystem with a small camel inside it, politely requesting fewer tasks and more naps. "Hello," the camel says. "The internal climate suggests we should lie down." And honestly, it's not bad advice. So tonight, you can practice gentle feedback with your own body. Notice your breathing. If it's shallow, invite it to deepen. Notice your jaw. If it's tight, let it loosen. Notice your shoulders. If they're lifted, let them drop. No scolding, no urgency, just response. The desert doesn't punish plants for resting. The night doesn't blame animals for being still. Everything moves in cycles, and rest is part of the cycle. As the camel stands beneath the stars, the desert continues its quiet conversation. Temperature falls, wind shifts, sand cools, and your mind, too, can participate in that gentle loop, noticing, responding, settling. A dune is made of countless grains of sand, yet it doesn't cling to any one grain. It holds shape for a while, then lets the wind rearrange it. It doesn't resist. It doesn't tense up. It simply becomes what the wind invites it to become. There's something soothing about that kind of surrender. Not surrender as defeat, but surrender as cooperation with reality. The dune isn't weak, it's flexible. It knows how to hold and how to release. The camel lives among these dunes, and in a way, it carries the same lesson. It moves, rests, eats, drinks when possible, waits when needed. It doesn't try to control the desert. It doesn't demand that the wind stop. It simply adjusts gently, letting the world be the world. Our question returns, soft and familiar. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means learning to let go of the grains you don't need to hold. Not every thought deserves a tight grip. Not every worry needs a full body clench. Some things can be allowed to drift. There's a quiet humor in how stubborn humans can be compared to sand. We'll grip an old worry like it's a treasured artifact, while the dune is out here like, anyway. I'm going to become a slightly different dune now. A level of emotional maturity we can all admire. So tonight, you can try dune logic. Picture your worries as grains of sand in your hands. You don't have to throw them away aggressively. Just loosen your fingers. Let a few grains slip out naturally. Inhale, exhale, loosen, soften. Inhale, exhale. Imagine a soft wind arriving, not a harsh gust, just a gentle flow. It moves through your mind and quietly rearranges things, not erasing your story, just smoothing the sharp edges. The camel rests nearby in your imagination, settled comfortably. The dunes continue their slow transformation. The night doesn't need you to hold everything in place, and you are allowed to let go, a little at a time, the way sand lets go to wind, softly, patiently, without drama. Now the night feels deeper. The desert air is cooler, smoother. The dunes look softer in the moonlight, as if the whole landscape has relaxed its muscles. The camel's presence is quieter too, not gone, just settled, like a steady heartbeat in the background. And gently, we return to our question from earlier. Not to solve it, not to pin it down, just to let it drift back into awareness the way a familiar scent drifts in when you open a door at night. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Perhaps the desert has been answering all along in its calm language. Less can mean space. Less can mean simplicity. Less can mean fewer sharp edges in the mind. The camel, with its steady body and quiet routines, seems to live inside less without feeling deprived. It lives inside less and looks peaceful. You can imagine the camel again, standing or resting, breathing slowly, lashes still, nostrils calm, coat soft in the moonlight. It doesn't look like it's missing anything essential. It looks like it has what it needs, and it knows how to wait for the rest. And maybe that is a kind of completeness, the ability to rest in what's here, without constantly reaching. There's a faint wink of humor in realizing that the camel might be the most emotionally stable creature in the desert. If you asked it how it stays so calm, it might answer by chewing slowly and blinking once, as if to say, try less. So let less arrive in you now, gently. Less effort, less tension, less mental noise. Inhale, exhale. Let your thoughts drift farther apart, like stars in a wide sky. Let your body sink deeper into comfort, like a camel settling into sand. You don't need to do anything with the question tonight. You can let it be a soft companion, walking beside you as you drift towards sleep. The desert doesn't demand conclusions. It offers quiet patterns, steady rhythms, gentle reminders. And as the night continues to lower its voice, you may feel yourself lowering too, settling, loosening, quieting, until the question becomes less like a thought and more like a lullaby. The wind is softer now. If it moves at all, it moves like a sigh. The desert, so open and wide, feels strangely intimate in this deep night, like the world has pulled its blanket up to its chin and decided to rest. The dunes hold still. Their shadows are gentle. The moonlight spreads evenly, like milk poured slowly into tea. And the camel, somewhere nearby in your imagination, feels quiet and settled, standing without tension or resting without guilt, breathing as steadily as the night itself. This is the descent back towards sleep. Not a drop, not a fall, just a gradual easing. The way water smooths when the last ripple fades. The way a room feels when the last conversation ends. Your mind can do that too. Inhale, exhale. Each exhale is a little loosening. Each inhale is a little settling. If a thought arrives, let it arrive softly. Don't chase it. Don't push it away. Let it pass through like wind passing over sand, touching, then moving on. Our question lingers faintly in the background. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? At this stage, the answer doesn't need words. The answer can be a feeling, the feeling of not needing to add anything to this moment, the feeling of enough. There's a tiny, almost inaudible humor in imagining the camel as your bedtime coach again. It would probably encourage you with a look that says, "Yes, this is good. Now do even less." And honestly, that's perfect advice for sleep. So do less now. Let your forehead smooth. Let your tongue rest in your mouth. Let your shoulders melt downward. Let your hands soften into stillness. Imagine the camel slow breathing beside you, like a steady metronome. Imagine the desert night breathing too, cooling, quieting, settling into its deepest calm. The wind is easing, and your mind is easing with it. Nothing needs to happen next. No problem needs to be solved. No plan needs to be made. The night is already doing its work, and your body already knows what to do. Just breathe, just soften, just drift slowly, gently into the quiet wild. The desert night feels older now in a comforting way, like it has done this 1,000 times and knows exactly how to make the world quiet. The air cools another small degree, and the sand seems to hold the moonlight more gently, as if even the light has learned to whisper. Somewhere in the distance, the camel remains, standing or resting. It doesn't matter which, because both look like peace. Its presence is steady enough that you can almost feel it without seeing it, like the way you can feel a calm person in a room even when they aren't speaking. The camel's calm has that kind of weight, soft, grounding, not demanding anything from you. Your breathing can match that now, not forcing, not deep in a showy way, just steady, like a tide you don't have to control. Inhale, exhale. The dunes look like waves frozen in slow motion. Their ridges curve and fold, shadowed softly, as if the desert is made of quiet thoughts that have finally decided to stop arguing with each other. The wind, if it arrives at all, arrives lightly, brushing over sand the way a hand brushes over hair, gentle, repetitive, soothing. And with each brush of wind, the desert releases a little more of the day. Heat loosens, edges soften. The world becomes less sharp. You can do the same. Let your face loosen first. The small muscles around your eyes can soften. Your jaw can hang slightly heavier. Your tongue can rest where it wants to rest. Your shoulders can slide down, as if gravity has become a friend instead of a taskmaster. Inhale, exhale. If thoughts float up, you don't need to push them away. You can treat them like small shapes in moonlight, noticed, then allowed to drift. A thought can pass through without needing a response. Not every thought is a message. Some are just leftover sand in the mind's pockets. And somewhere, faintly, our question still exists. Not as a puzzle, but as a gentle companion. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Tonight, the desert offers a wordless answer. It settles. It doesn't decorate itself. It doesn't fill every space. It simply rests into what it is. Wide, quiet, enough. There's a tiny warmth of humor in that too, because the camel seems to have mastered the art of enough so thoroughly that it might look at our busy minds and silently suggest a new hobby, doing less. A very rare hobby, but an excellent one. So let your breath become one long desert breath. Let the room around you feel like open sand, spacious, uncluttered, safe. And let yourself drift towards sleep the way the desert drifts toward dawn, slowly, smoothly, without any need to rush. The night has carried us gently through dunes and wind, through calm routines and quiet adaptations, and now it begins to gather itself into something simpler. Not an ending with a full stop, more like a pause that stretches comfortably. The camel, in your imagination, feels closer now, not closer in distance, but closer in mood. Its calm has become familiar. The slow chewing, the steady breath, the unbothered posture, the way it seems content with what the desert offers, without demanding the desert become something else. And that returns us once more to the question that has been walking beside us, softly, all night. What does it mean to be comfortable with less and still feel complete? Maybe it means allowing yourself to stop searching for extra answers, extra certainty, extra noise. Maybe it means noticing that the body already knows how to settle when you let it. Maybe it means recognizing that complete can sometimes feel like quiet space inside you, space where nothing is yelling. The desert teaches this with simplicity. Sand does not argue with the wind. Dunes do not cling to a single shape. The sky does not rush the stars, and the camel does not rush the night. So you don't need to rush either. Inhale, exhale. Let your breathing become the only task left, though even that isn't really a task. It's just a rhythm your body keeps naturally, like a small lantern that never goes out. You can rest beside it. If your mind wants to summarize, it can summarize softly. The desert is wide, the camel is steady, the night is kind. That's enough. No grand lesson required. If your mind wants to wander, it can wander slowly. Let it wander like moonlight wandering across sand. No urgency, no sharp corners, just a gentle drift. There is a quiet comfort in imagining the camel settling down again, folding its long legs beneath it, resting as if rest is normal, because it is normal. Rest is not a prize at the end of perfection. Rest is part of the rhythm, like night is part of the day. And if a tiny thread of humor appears, barely there, you can let it be this. The camel is basically a desert expert in bedtime. It doesn't overthink. It doesn't negotiate with sleep. It simply becomes still. So you can become still now too. The wind eases. The dunes hold their soft shapes. The night lowers its voice even further until the quiet feels like a blanket over everything. And in that blanket of quiet, you don't need to do anything else. You can just be here, comfortable with less, and gently, naturally, complete. Now we enter the final rest, where the facts become fewer and the feeling becomes more important. The desert is not something to study anymore. It's something to sink into. The moonlight looks softer, as if it has been dimmed. The sand appears smoother. The horizon is a quiet line, barely separating earth from sky. Somewhere out there, the camel rests or stands in stillness, and the steady rise and fall of its breathing feels like a slow drum, quiet enough that you almost imagine it rather than hear it. Your own breathing can follow that rhythm. Inhale, exhale. Each exhale can be a gentle release, shoulders loosening, forehead smoothing, hands uncurving. Each inhale can be a small receipt of calm, cool night air in the imagination, soft and clean. The desert night is full of little repeated comforts. The wind touches sand, then moves on. The stars stay steady, shadows remain gentle, the camel's presence stays calm. It's a world where repetition is not boring, it's soothing. So let yourself repeat what helps you settle. Inhale, exhale. If thoughts appear, let them be distant, like a far-off call you don't need to answer. You can notice them the way you notice a star. There, quiet, not urgent. And then you return to breathing. You may imagine the camel's wide footprints somewhere nearby, already softened by wind. You may imagine a small shrub moving slightly in the breeze. You may imagine the coolness of sand at night, how it holds the day's warmth only faintly now, letting everything become comfortable. A tiny, lullaby-sized humor can slip in here, soft as a whisper. Even the rocks look relaxed. They've had a lot of practice, and you don't need practice tonight. You only need permission. So give yourself permission. Permission to be quiet. Permission to be slow. Permission to be held by the night. Inhale, exhale. The desert seems to breathe with you. The camel seems to breathe with you, and the whole scene becomes a gentle cradle of repetition. Breath, stillness, breath, stillness. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to be fixed. The night is already complete without doing anything more, and you can be complete too. Right here, right now, simply by letting yourself rest. Imagine a campfire in the desert that doesn't crackle or throw sparks. It isn't bright. It isn't busy. It's just warmth, soft, steady warmth, like the feeling of being safe. A quiet campfire made of presence. This is what the night feels like now. The sky holds its stars without effort. The dunes hold their shapes without tension. The camel holds its calm without trying. Everything is simply supported by the world, and you can be supported too. Inhale, exhale. You might picture the camel resting near other camels, spaced comfortably, not crowded, just close enough to share quiet companionship. No one needs to talk. No one needs to entertain. They simply exist together under the wide sky, held by the night. Even if you are alone, you can borrow that feeling. the sense of being part of something natural and steady, part of a quiet campfire circle where the only requirement is breathing. Inhale, exhale. Let the blanket over you feel like the camel's coat, warm, insulating, protective. Let the room around you feel like open desert, spacious, uncluttered, calm. If a thought wanders in, you don't have to greet it with conversation. You can nod gently, the way you might nod at someone passing by in the night, and then let it continue on its way. Thoughts can pass without staying. You can return again and again to the simplest thing: breath. Inhale, exhale. There's a soft rhythm now, a gentle repetition of earlier motifs: wind easing, sand smoothing, a distant hush, a steady animal breath. It's like a lullaby that doesn't use words, only patterns. And if you need a tiny bit of humor, soft enough to keep you sleepy, imagine the camel as the quiet friend at the campfire who never over-explains anything. You ask, "How do you stay so calm?" And it responds by blinking slowly, as if the answer is, "I don't add extra." So don't add extra. Let your shoulders be heavy. Let your hands be still. Let your mind be spacious. Inhale, exhale. The desert night holds its quiet campfire warmth around you. Nothing bright, nothing loud, just a gentle sense of belonging. And in that belonging, you can drift, loosening, settling, quieting, until the campfire becomes only warmth, and warmth becomes only sleep. At this point in the night, even clarity feels unnecessary. The edges of things blur in a pleasant way. The desert is still there, sand, sky, camel, but it feels more like a dream scene than a place you have to picture perfectly. Moonlight becomes a gentle wash across the dunes. Shadows become smooth pools. The horizon becomes a quiet suggestion, and the camel becomes what it has been all along: a steady, calming presence, like a slow, warm thought you don't have to finish. Inhale, exhale. You can imagine the wind moving lightly, barely touching the sand. A soft brush, then nothing. A soft brush, then nothing. The kind of motion that lulls the mind, the way repetitive sounds can lull you when they don't demand attention. Your breath can become that repetitive comfort. Inhale, exhale. If your mind tries to hold on to something, an unfinished task, a small worry, you can let it loosen, not with force, just with softness, like sand slipping through relaxed fingers, like a dune allowing the wind to rearrange it. The camel's breathing remains steady in the background. Slow rise, slow fall. It's a rhythm so simple that it feels ancient, like a lullaby the desert has been singing forever. Inhale, exhale. You may notice your body feeling heavier now, the pleasant heaviness of rest arriving. Your legs sinking, your arms settling, your face smoothing, your thoughts stretching farther apart, like stars in a wide sky with no need to form patterns. Everything is becoming soft around the edges, and that softness is safe. If you need one last tiny smile before drifting deeper, let it be small as a whisper. The desert is basically the world's largest quiet room, and the camel is its most dedicated customer. No complaints, no upgrades, just calm. Inhale, exhale. Let the desert scene fade into a simpler feeling, cool air, wide space, steady breath, less imagery, more rhythm, less thinking, more drifting. The night continues to lower its voice until it's almost silent. And in that near silence, you don't need to do anything. You can let yourself be carried by repetition, by softness, by the gentle motion of breathing. Inhale, exhale. The desert holds you in imagination. The camel holds the rhythm. The wind holds the hush. And you can drift comfortably, softly, steadily, towards sleep. Now the story becomes almost weightless. The desert is still there, but it feels farther away, like a place you visited in a dream and can return to any time. The dunes are softer than shapes now. The sky is softer than sky. The camel is less an animal you are watching and more a calm rhythm you are borrowing. Inhale, exhale. The night doesn't ask anything from you. It doesn't ask you to understand. It doesn't ask you to remember. It simply stays steady, like a quiet friend who sits with you until you fall asleep and doesn't take it personally when you drift away mid-sentence. The wind is barely moving. If it touches the sand, it does so like a feather. If it touches the camel's coat, it does so like a gentle hand smoothing fabric. Nothing is sharp. Nothing is urgent. Everything is slow to the pace of rest. Inhale, exhale. You can imagine the camel resting in the sand, legs folded beneath its body, eyes half-lidded, lashes still. Its breathing rises and falls, slow as the tide in a distant sea. The camel is safe. The desert is quiet. The stars remain where they are, and you don't need to stay awake to hold any of it. The night will keep the scene for you. Inhale, exhale. If thoughts show up now, they can be small and far away, like tiny lights on the horizon. You don't have to walk toward them. You don't have to interpret them. You can let them blink softly and then fade. Your body knows what to do when you stop interfering. Shoulders settle, jaw loosens, hands soften, breath steadies. Inhale, exhale. There's a last little whisper of humor you can keep only if it feels like a lullaby. Even the desert doesn't multitask. It doesn't try to be a forest at the same time. It just deserts. And the camel doesn't try to be anything else either. It just camels, simple, reliable, sleepy. So you can be simple too, just breathing, just resting, just drifting. Inhale, exhale. The night stays steady so you can go, not go anywhere dramatic, just go deeper into rest, deeper into softness, deeper into that quiet place where thoughts thin out and the body becomes warm and heavy. The desert remains in the background, holding its calm. The camel remains in the rhythm, holding its steadiness. And you can let yourself drift away gently, knowing the night will continue without you, peaceful and complete. The last moments arrive like a slow tide reaching the shore and then easing back again. Nothing sudden, nothing sharp, just a gentle fading, like moonlight dimming behind thin clouds. The desert feels quiet enough now that it's almost not a place, more a sensation. Cool air, wide space, soft sand, a steady breath somewhere nearby. Inhale, exhale. You might still picture the camel, but even that image can soften. Maybe you only sense its presence, steady, calm, complete. A creature at rest in its home. A quiet reminder that stillness is natural and resting is allowed. The dunes remain. The stars remain. The wind remains, if only as a faint idea. Everything continues in a slow, gentle motion, and your mind doesn't need to hold on to any of it. It can simply drift, inhale, exhale. If you notice your thoughts trying to gather, you can let them separate again, like stars spreading out across a wide sky. There is no need to form a constellation tonight. There is no need to make meaning. The night has already given you what you need, a rhythm to follow, a softness to sink into, a quiet place to rest. Your breathing is enough. Your stillness is enough. You are enough. Inhale, exhale. The desert has been teaching this gently all along. Comfort can live inside simplicity. The camel has been showing it without speeches. Calm can be practical. Rest can be normal. Less can be spacious, and enough can feel complete. Now you don't need more words. You don't need more images. You can let everything fade into the slow, warm quiet behind your eyes. The wind eases, the sand smooths, the camel rests, the night holds, and as the final calm settles around you, we close with the fixed lines, unchanged, like a soft door clicking shut without a sound. Everything flows through the wild. Sleep in that motion.